Ready meals promise convenience. A hot dinner in minutes with no fuss. But for seniors, that plastic tray could be hiding something dangerous. From sky-high sodium that spikes blood pressure to undeclared allergens and bacterial contamination, some of Britain's most trusted brands put profit before your health. Today, we expose 11 ready meal brands you must avoid and the 2 that are actually safe. Coming in at number 11, we have got Iceland Ready Meals. Iceland built its reputation on affordable frozen food. Walk into any store and you will see aisles stacked with brightly coloured boxes, promising restaurant quality at bargain prices. The packaging shows steaming lasagnas, golden pies and perfectly arranged curries. But what is actually inside those trays tells a very different story. A story that could affect your health in ways you never expected. In recent years, Iceland has faced multiple product recalls due to undeclared allergens. In 2023 alone, the Food Standards Agency issued urgent warnings for Iceland products containing milk, wheat and other allergens not listed on the label. For seniors with dietary restrictions or those taking blood thinners like warfarin, consuming an undeclared allergen is not just uncomfortable. It can trigger anaphylaxis or dangerous drug interactions that land you in hospital. One wrong meal could mean an ambulance ride. But the problems run deeper than labeling errors. Consumer complaints have flooded review sites describing meals that arrive with freezer burns so severe the food is unrecognizable. Vegetables reduced to mush with the texture of wet cardboard. Meat with an odd metallic aftertaste that lingers on the tongue long after you have finished eating. Some customers reported opening packages to find ice crystals covering grey, discoloured chicken that smelled faintly of ammonia. That sour chemical odour should never be coming from something you are about to put in your body. The sodium content in many Iceland ready meals is staggering. A single cottage pie can contain over 1.5 grams of salt. That is more than a quarter of a senior's recommended daily intake in one sitting. The British Heart Foundation recommends no more than 6 grams of salt per day. One Iceland meal can get you a quarter of the way there before you have even had breakfast. For anyone managing high blood pressure or heart disease, this hidden salt is silently straining your cardiovascular system with every single bite you take. Iceland promises value. What they deliver is uncertainty wrapped in cheap plastic. At number 10, we have Rustlers. You have seen them in petrol stations, corner shops and supermarket fridges. Rustlers microwavable burgers and hot dogs that promise a hot meal in under 2 minutes. The marketing is aimed at convenience. Quick protein when you're on the go. But for seniors, Rustlers represents one of the most concerning ready meal options on the entire market. The convenience comes at a cost your body will pay for later. Let us start with what is actually in these products. The ingredient lists read like a chemistry experiment. Mechanically separated meat, stabilizers, flavor enhancers including monosodium glutamate, preservatives, and enough sodium to make a cardiologist weep. A single Rustler's burger contains nearly 3 grams of salt. That is half your entire daily allowance in one processed patty. Half. In something that barely qualifies as a meal. The NHS would call that excessive. Most doctors would call it reckless. The texture tells its own story. Customers describe biting into rubbery greyish meat that bounces unnaturally under the teeth. It does not tear like real beef should. It compresses and springs back like a foam mattress. The bread component often emerges from the microwave either soggy and limp or strangely tough, with an artificial sweetness that has no place in a burger bun. One reviewer described it as chewing on a kitchen sponge soaked in salt water. Another said it reminded them of hospital food, but worse. For seniors taking ACE inhibitors or other blood pressure medications, the extreme sodium content in Rustlers can directly interfere with how your medicine works. Your pills are fighting to lower your blood pressure while this burger is actively pushing it back up. It is like trying to bail water out of a sinking boat while someone else keeps pouring more in. Your medication cannot do its job if you are sabotaging it with every meal. Consumer reports have flagged Rustlers for inconsistent heating instructions that leave cold spots in the meat. Those cold spots are prime territory for bacterial survival. When you are over 50, your immune system is not as quick to fight off foodborne pathogens. A dodgy burger is not just an upset stomach. It can mean days in hospital hooked up to an IV, fighting off an infection your body once would have handled easily. Rustlers promises convenience. What it delivers is a sodium bomb wrapped in processed mystery meat. Most people never learn how to spot the safe options hidden among all this danger, but we will break it down at the very end of the video. So stick around because the best information is coming. Now at number 9, we have Hungry Joe's. Hungry Joe's positions itself as hearty, filling fare for people who want a proper meal without the cooking. Their packaging features images of thick-cut chips, generous portions of meat, and rich gravies that look homemade. The branding suggests honest working-class food made with care. The reality is anything but honest, and it certainly is not made with your health in mind. Hungry Joe's ready meals have been criticized repeatedly for misleading portion photography. What appears on the box is not what arrives on your plate. Customers report opening trays to find portions half the size depicted, swimming in watery sauces that taste predominantly of salt and artificial flavoring. The meat often arrives in small, tough chunks that require serious chewing. For seniors with dental issues or dentures, this is not just disappointing. It is genuinely difficult and sometimes painful to eat. Food should not be a struggle. The saturated fat content in many Hungry Joe's meals exceeds recommended daily limits. A single meat pie from their range can contain over 25 grams of saturated fat. The NHS recommends no more than 20 grams per day for women and 30 for men. One pie can push you over the limit before you have eaten anything else. For seniors managing cholesterol or those who have experienced cardiac events, this is not a meal. It is a risk factor served on a plastic tray. Quality control appears inconsistent at best. Online reviews describe finding gristle, bone fragments, and in some cases, foreign objects in their meals. One particularly disturbing account detailed discovering what appeared to be a piece of blue plastic embedded in a shepherd's pie. The customer photographed it and shared it online. Dozens of similar stories followed in the comments. People described finding hair, bits of packaging, and unidentifiable hard objects that could chip a tooth. The nutritional labeling uses small print and confusing serving size calculations that obscure just how unhealthy these meals truly are. A senior scanning the label quickly might believe they are eating 400 calories when the reality is closer to 800. That is not transparency. That is deliberate obfuscation designed to make you think you are eating healthier than you actually are. Hungry Joe's promises satisfaction. What it delivers is deception dressed up as dinner. Moving to number 8, we have Wiltshire Farm Foods. This one hurts because Wiltshire Farm Foods specifically markets itself to seniors. Their entire business model targets older adults with home delivery of frozen ready meals. The website features smiling elderly couples enjoying nutritious-looking dinners in comfortable homes. The branding promises meals designed for mature appetites with senior health in mind. Everything about their marketing says they understand what older people need. The betrayal here is particularly bitter because they know exactly who they are selling to. Despite the health-focused marketing, many Wiltshire Farm Foods meals contain sodium levels that are completely inappropriate for their target demographic. Some of their soups and main courses contain over 2 grams of salt per serving. For a senior managing hypertension, and statistics from the British Heart Foundation show that over half of British adults over 65 have high blood pressure, this is genuinely dangerous. These meals are marketed to the exact people who should be avoiding them. The ingredients lists reveal extensive use of modified starches, flavor enhancers, and preservatives. These are not the wholesome, home-cooked style meals the marketing implies. They are industrially processed products engineered for long freezer life, not optimal nutrition. The disconnect between what they promise and what they deliver is staggering. They show grandmother's cooking but deliver factory production. Customer complaints describe meals arriving with damaged packaging, compromised cold chain integrity, and in some cases, clear signs of having been defrosted and refrozen. The texture of vegetables is frequently described as mushy to the point of being unidentifiable. Carrots that dissolve on the tongue like wet tissue paper, peas that have turned grey and completely flavourless, meat that has taken on a spongy, unnatural consistency that makes you wonder what it actually started as before processing. The prices, incidentally, are significantly higher than comparable supermarket ready meals, despite no meaningful improvement in quality or nutrition. For seniors living alone, the exact demographic Wiltshire Farm Foods targets, a company that takes advantage of trust and isolation to sell overpriced, oversalted processed food, is not providing a service. It is exploitation of vulnerable people. Wiltshire Farm Foods promises care for seniors. What it delivers is profit extracted from vulnerability. If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It is free and it means you will never miss these exposés that could protect your health. At number 7, we have Aldi's ready meal range. Aldi has earned a reputation as the budget supermarket that does not compromise on quality. Their advertising campaigns show middle-class families choosing Aldi over premium competitors and being pleasantly surprised by what they find. The message is clear: smart shoppers choose Aldi because the quality matches the big brands at half the price. When it comes to ready meals, this promise falls apart completely. Aldi's ready meal range has faced multiple Food Standards Agency recalls in recent years. In 2022, several products were pulled from shelves due to undeclared allergens, including cereals containing gluten, egg, and milk. For seniors with allergies or intolerances, conditions that often develop or worsen with age, these labeling failures are not minor inconveniences. They are medical emergencies waiting to happen. An allergic reaction at 70 is far more dangerous than one at 30. The sodium content across Aldi's ready meal range is consistently high. Their popular chicken tikka masala contains nearly 2 grams of salt. Their macaroni cheese approaches similar levels. For seniors taking diuretics or managing kidney function, this hidden salt forces your body to work harder to maintain fluid balance. It can potentially undermine the medications you depend on to stay healthy. Your kidneys are already working overtime. This salt makes them work even harder. Consumer reports describe finding ready meals with significant freezer burn despite being well within their use by date. The meals often emerge from the microwave with dangerously uneven heating, edges bubbling violently while the center remains stone cold. These temperature inconsistencies create perfect conditions for bacterial survival and multiplication. Bacteria thrive in those lukewarm zones where the microwave did not reach properly. The vegetable content in Aldi ready meals is typically minimal and of poor quality. Peas that taste of absolutely nothing. Carrots so overprocessed they have lost all texture and any nutritional benefit. For seniors trying to maintain a balanced diet, these meals create an illusion of eating vegetables without delivering any meaningful health benefit whatsoever. Aldi promises premium quality at discount prices. Their ready meals deliver discount quality at prices that cost your health. Is it not strange how these companies spend millions on advertising their meals as healthy, yet the ingredient lists tell a completely different story? What do you think they are really selling us? Drop your thoughts below. Coming in at number 6, we have Morrison's Ready Meals. Morrison's positions itself as the supermarket that makes fresh food accessible to everyone. Their marketing emphasizes British suppliers, quality ingredients, and meals made like you would make them at home in your own kitchen. Walk through their ready meal section and you will see packaging adorned with images of fresh herbs, perfectly cooked proteins, and vibrant, colorful vegetables. The disconnect between image and reality is jarring when you actually open one of these meals. Morrison's ready meals have been subject to multiple recalls in recent years. In 2023, the FSA issued warnings for Morrison's products due to undeclared mustard and other allergens that could cause severe reactions. For seniors taking blood pressure medication or those with compromised immune systems, an unexpected allergen exposure can trigger reactions ranging from uncomfortable hives to life-threatening anaphylaxis, requiring emergency treatment. The actual meals bear little resemblance to their packaging photographs. Customers describe opening containers to find grey, overcooked meat floating in thin, greasy sauce that pools around the edges. Vegetables that have been reduced to mush through aggressive industrial processing. Pasta dishes where the noodles have congealed into a solid, starchy mass that requires significant effort to separate into individual pieces. The smell upon opening is often described as institutional, like something from a hospital cafeteria or a school canteen, not a home kitchen. The sodium levels in Morrison's ready meals routinely exceed what is appropriate for senior health. Their chicken dinner range contains salt levels that would concern any GP treating a patient with hypertension. Their fish pies contain enough sodium to affect fluid retention in anyone with kidney concerns or those taking medication to manage water balance in the body. Quality consistency is a significant issue across the range. The same meal purchased from different Morrison stores can vary dramatically in appearance, texture, and even taste. One week it might be acceptable. The next week the same product is inedible. This inconsistency suggests problems with production processes, ingredient sourcing, or storage conditions at various points in the supply chain, none of which inspire confidence in what you are eating. Morrison's promises fresh, honest food. Their ready meals deliver industrial processing with a fresh-looking label designed to deceive. Do not go anywhere yet. The safe options are coming at the very end of this video. Knowing them could genuinely change how you shop from now on. Now at number 5, we have Weight Watchers Ready Meals. Weight Watchers, now rebranded as WUW, has spent decades positioning itself as the trusted name in healthy eating. Their ready meal range is specifically marketed to health-conscious consumers who want to manage their weight without sacrificing taste or enjoyment. The packaging features calorie counts, points values, and promises of balanced nutrition. For seniors trying to maintain a healthy weight while managing chronic conditions, this seems like the ideal solution. It is absolutely not. The fundamental problem with Weight Watchers Ready Meals is that they prioritize calorie counting over actual nutrition. To keep calories artificially low, portions are minuscule. Protein content is often woefully inadequate for maintaining muscle mass. A senior eating these meals regularly risks muscle loss, chronic fatigue, and nutritional deficiency, all while believing they are eating healthily. Age UK warns that inadequate protein intake in older adults accelerates sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass that dramatically increases fall risk and fractures. The sodium content in many Weight Watchers meals is disproportionately high for the tiny portion sizes. Because the meals are so small, the salt-to-food ratio is extreme. A tiny lasagna containing 1.2 grams of salt might seem moderate on the label until you realize you will need to eat 2 of them to feel remotely satisfied. Suddenly, you have doubled your sodium intake without doubling your nutrition or your satisfaction. The ingredient lists reveal heavy reliance on artificial sweeteners, flavor enhancers, and bulking agents designed to create the illusion of more food than actually exists in the tray. Modified starches that trick your stomach into feeling fuller temporarily. Artificial flavors that mimic richness and satisfaction without delivering any actual nutrition. For seniors managing diabetes, some of these artificial sweeteners can affect blood sugar levels in unexpected and potentially dangerous ways. Customer reviews consistently mention feeling hungry within an hour of eating. The meals are designed to hit a points target for their weight loss program, not to actually nourish an adult human body. For seniors who need adequate protein and nutrients to maintain strength, bone density, and immune function, these meals are actively counterproductive, despite their supposedly healthy branding and premium pricing. Weight Watchers promises health through portion control. What it delivers is deprivation dressed up as wellness. At number 4, we have Co-op Ready Meals. The cooperative has built its entire brand on ethical trading, community values, and doing right by customers. Their marketing emphasizes fair trade sourcing, British suppliers, and a commitment to quality that supposedly justifies their slightly premium pricing. Walk into any co-op and the messaging is everywhere about responsible sourcing and community focus. When it comes to ready meals, this ethical positioning masks some genuinely concerning realities about what you are actually eating. Co-op ready meals have faced recalls due to contamination concerns and allergen mislabeling. Their sandwiches and ready-to-eat products have been particularly problematic, with several serious incidents requiring FSA intervention and urgent product withdrawals. For seniors with compromised immune systems or those managing multiple health conditions and medications, these lapses in food safety are not minor issues to be brushed aside. They are serious health risks from a brand they trusted implicitly for years. The sodium content in Co-op ready meals is consistently high, despite their health-conscious ethical branding. Their cottage pie contains over 1.5 grams of salt per serving. Their fish pie approaches similar dangerous levels. For seniors managing blood pressure with daily medication, these hidden salt levels work directly against the drugs designed to keep them healthy and prevent strokes and heart attacks. The portion sizes in Co-op ready meals often do not match the carefully styled packaging imagery whatsoever. Customers describe opening meals to find significantly less food than was clearly depicted on the box, surrounded by excess watery sauce or thin gravy that masks the meager protein content underneath. The vegetables are typically overcooked to the point of having lost all nutritional value and most of their original flavor and color. The pricing is notably higher than competitors for products of comparable or often lower quality. Seniors on fixed incomes and pensions are paying a premium for the co-op's ethical branding and community messaging without receiving any meaningful improvement in the actual food quality, safety, or nutritional value they are putting into their bodies. Co-op promises ethical food done right. Their ready meals deliver premium prices for standard industrial processing hidden behind feel-good marketing. Why do you think these premium ranges cost twice as much when the ingredients are nearly identical to the budget options? Are we paying for better food or just better marketing and nicer packaging? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Moving to number 3, we have Tesco Finest Ready Meals. Tesco Finest represents Britain's largest supermarket's attempt at premium positioning for customers who want something special. The range features sophisticated packaging, restaurant-inspired recipes with exotic names, and prices that suggest genuinely superior quality. The marketing implies that choosing Finest means choosing better ingredients, more careful preparation, and meals worth paying significantly extra for. The truth behind the elegant packaging is far less appetizing than the photographs suggest. Tesco has faced significant food safety issues across its ready meal ranges, including their premium Finest products. Recalls have been issued for undeclared allergens, contamination concerns, and products that fail to meet basic safety standards that protect consumers. In 2023, multiple Tesco ready meals were urgently pulled from shelves due to issues that put consumers at genuine risk. The premium label did not protect anyone from these failures. The ingredient lists on Tesco Finest products often directly contradict the premium positioning. Modified starches, flavor enhancers, preservatives, and artificial additives appear regularly despite the higher prices customers pay. The meals are produced in the same industrial facilities as their budget ranges, using very similar processes and often similar base ingredients. The main difference between Finest and everyday value is the packaging design and the marketing budget, not the quality of what is actually inside the tray. Sodium levels in Tesco Finest ready meals are comparable to or sometimes even higher than standard budget options. Their lamb shanks, beef bourguignon, and fish pie varieties all contain salt levels that are completely inappropriate for seniors managing cardiovascular conditions. The premium branding creates an automatic assumption of healthiness that the actual nutritional content absolutely does not support. You're paying more for a false sense of security. Customer complaints describe finding Finest meals with obvious freezer damage, wildly inconsistent quality from one purchase to the next, and in some disturbing cases, foreign objects that do not belong in food. One detailed review described finding what appeared to be a piece of blue plastic in a supposedly premium chicken dinner that cost nearly £8. For seniors who trust premium labels to mean premium quality, this is a profound betrayal of their trust and their money. Tesco Finest promises restaurant quality at home. What it delivers is industrial processing in fancier packaging with a higher price tag. At number 2, we have Sainsbury's Ready Meals. Sainsbury's has positioned itself as the supermarket for discerning shoppers who genuinely care about quality and are willing to pay for it. Their advertising features happy families choosing Sainsbury's because the food is simply better than what competitors offer. The ready meal section is arranged to suggest careful curation by food experts, premium options alongside everyday choices, all supposedly meeting Sainsbury's famously high standards. The reality behind this carefully constructed image is deeply troubling for anyone who has trusted this brand. Sainsbury's has faced multiple FSA recalls for ready meal products in recent years. Issues have ranged from undeclared allergens that could trigger severe reactions to contamination concerns that required urgent product withdrawals from stores nationwide. For seniors with allergies or immune vulnerabilities, these repeated safety failures represent genuine health risks from a brand they have likely trusted for decades of shopping. The nutritional content of Sainsbury's ready meals tells a concerning story that contradicts their quality image. Sodium levels routinely exceed what is appropriate for senior health and well-being. Their shepherd's pie contains over 1.4 grams of salt in a single serving. Their chicken tikka masala approaches 2 grams. For anyone managing blood pressure, taking heart medication or monitoring kidney function, These hidden salt levels are actively undermining their careful health management every single time they heat up one of these convenient meals. The quality gap between packaging imagery and actual product is significant and disappointing. Customers describe opening meals to find tired-looking vegetables that have clearly seen better days, meat of questionable texture that is hard to identify, and sauces that taste predominantly of salt and artificial flavoring rather than real ingredients. The premium pricing creates an expectation of excellence that Sainsbury's consistently and repeatedly fails to meet. Food handling investigations by Which and other consumer groups have revealed concerns about temperature control and storage practices at various Sainsbury's locations around the country. Ready meals sitting in chillers at incorrect temperatures that allow bacteria to multiply. Products approaching or well past their use, by dates being rotated to the back of shelves rather than properly removed. For seniors whose immune systems are naturally less robust than younger shoppers, these careless practices create completely unnecessary and avoidable risk. Sainsbury's promises quality you can taste. Their ready meals deliver mediocrity at premium prices. And at number 1, the worst offender of all, we have Marks & Spencer ready meals. This is the big one. This is the brand that will surprise and disappoint people the most. Marks & Spencer has spent over a century building an unassailable reputation for quality that generations of British shoppers grew up trusting completely. Their food halls are considered a cut above ordinary supermarkets, a special treat. The advertising, those sensual close-ups of glistening food, that famous voice describing ingredients in reverent tones creates an expectation of excellence that few other retailers can match. For seniors who remember when M&S truly meant uncompromising quality, the current reality is a bitter and profound disappointment. Marks & Spencer has faced serious food safety issues in recent years that have tarnished their once pristine reputation. In 2023 and 2024, multiple M&S products were subject to FSA recalls due to undeclared allergens and contamination concerns that put customers at genuine risk. The brand that once represented absolute trust and reliability has repeatedly failed to meet the basic food safety standards that protect consumers from harm. Which investigations have highlighted ongoing concerns about quality control across the entire M&S food range, not just ready meals. The sodium content in M&S ready meals is shockingly high for a brand that positions itself as the healthy, premium choice for discerning shoppers. Their gastropub pies contain over 2 grams of salt per serving. Their Indian range regularly exceeds 2.5 grams, approaching half the daily limit in one sitting. For seniors managing hypertension, and remember, over 50% of British adults over 65 have high blood pressure according to the British Heart Foundation, these meals are actively dangerous despite their premium positioning and their reassuring green packaging. The price premium at M&S creates an automatic assumption of superior quality that the actual products simply do not justify under scrutiny. Customers paying 3 times the price of budget alternatives naturally expect 3 times the quality. Instead, they receive similar industrial processing in more attractive packaging, with sodium and additive levels that match or even exceed cheaper competitors from Aldi or Lidl. You are paying for the distinctive green bags and the decades of reputation building, not for better food. Customer complaints have increased noticeably in recent years. Reviews describe finding meals with obvious freezer damage, off-putting textures that suggest improper storage, and quality inconsistencies that were absolutely unthinkable from M&S a decade ago. Vegetables that taste of nothing but water, meat that has been processed and reformed beyond all recognition of its original form, sauces that rely entirely on salt and artificial flavor enhancers, rather than actual quality ingredients prepared with care. The betrayal from M&S cuts deepest because seniors trusted this brand with complete faith. Many have shopped there for 50 years or more, believing absolutely that the premium prices guaranteed premium quality and uncompromising safety. That decades-long trust has been systematically violated. Marks and Spencer promises food you can trust. What it delivers is expensive disappointment with a side of health risk. The first safe option is Cook Ready Meals. Cook is a British company that prepares meals by hand in their own kitchens using real ingredients you can actually recognize and pronounce. Their sodium levels are significantly lower than supermarket alternatives because they rely on proper seasoning and quality ingredients, rather than using salt as a cheap flavor crutch to mask poor quality. Every meal is flash frozen without preservatives, maintaining nutritional value and genuine taste. Their ingredient lists read like actual recipes from a cookbook, not chemistry experiments from a laboratory. For seniors managing blood pressure or heart conditions, Cook offers genuine meals with transparent nutrition that will not undermine your medication. They deliver nationwide across the UK, and their portion sizes are designed for adult appetites, not calorie-counting gimmicks that leave you hungry. The prices are fair for what you actually receive. Real food, properly prepared by people who care, safely handled throughout the process. Cook proves convincingly that convenience does not have to mean compromising your health or settling for inferior quality. The second safe option is Parsley Box. Specifically designed for seniors and delivered directly to your door, Parsley Box meals require no freezer space whatsoever and can be stored safely in your cupboard until you need them. The sodium levels are carefully controlled with senior health specifically in mind by people who understand the demographic they serve. Their meals are prepared in Scotland using British ingredients with clear, honest nutritional labelling that does not hide behind confusing serving size calculations or misleading photography. For seniors living alone or those with limited mobility who cannot easily get to shops, Parsley Box offers genuine convenience without the health compromises that plague every supermarket alternative we have discussed today. The portions are sensible and satisfying, the ingredients are recognizable and wholesome, and the company actually genuinely understands what senior health requires. When you read their labels, you will see food, not a list of unpronounceable additives and industrial preservatives designed to extend shelf life at the expense of your well-being. Not all ready meals are created equal. Some put your health at serious risk while promising convenient nourishment. Subscribe now, and if you're watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.